We're continuing to track what's an absolutely fascinating election in Jammu and Kashmir and also in Jharkhand. Jharkhand, the picture a bit clearer, as you can see, 41 right now there for the BJP alliance. That's roughly the halfway mark. Still not all of them are results, so there could be some going up and down. BJP in Jharkhand may be just a touch disappointed, but let's look at Jammu and Kashmir, which is where the really exciting picture has been unfolding since the morning. First of all, this is the present position. In Leeds, it's 32 for the PDP, so well ahead at this point of the BJP. It's up by about 6 out right there. So the PDP has got 32, the BJP is 26, the Congress ahead of the NC actually at 12. The National Conference will be disappointed. It is down to 11. So if you just freeze on this picture, it also tells you what the permutations and the combinations are. PDP, unless there's something dramatic that happens in the next hour or so, almost certainly going to be the single largest party, and therefore will get the first crack and will get the chance to form the government. But the PDP will not be able to do it on its own. So one option, of course, is that the PDP ties up with the BJP. So that's option number one, which means 58 seats as of this moment, which means absolutely no problems in getting the numbers. But there are other questions. There's the question of ideology and cohesion, and how will the PDP score voters, react, and so on and so forth. What are the other options? You can have the PDP and the Congress, which is a possibility which cannot be discounted at this point. It's roughly what the numbers are right now. Let's also try and break all of this up in terms of which the regions are. So if you're looking at it from the point of view of Jammu, this clearly is where the BJP has got all of its seats right now. So 26 for the BJP out here, Congress 5, PDP 3, NC 2, others 1. So virtual sweep of the entire Jammu region by the BJP. In the Kashmir region, on the other hand, it's a completely different picture, and the PDP getting 29 seats out here, the NC just 9, the Congress picking up 4, others getting 4, and those others at some point could become relevant, and we'll be discussing that in just a couple of minutes with Praveen Swami and with others. What's the position in Ladakh? Remember, Ladakh was actually won by the BJP in the Lok Sabha election, but this a very narrow margin there. This time it's the Congress which has done really well there. 3 in Ladakh, 1 going to an independent in Ladakh. That's the remaining seat which is out there. If we can just turn our attention very quickly from Jammu and Kashmir to Jharkhand before we come back with the analysis, and let's take a look at the latest position in Jharkhand. Here are the leads coming up. It is 41 right now for. But, you know, these are some of the constituencies. We'll take you through these in slightly greater detail. Let's just take a look at Jharkhand if we can in a certain amount of detail. We will continue to flash constituency by constituency some of the stories that are unfolding there in Jammu and Kashmir. But let's take a look at the bigger picture in Jharkhand right now. 41 for the BJP. If it stays like this, it's a BJP government with a majority, and that's as wafer thin as a majority can be, but it's a majority nevertheless. JMM is at 17, so Himanshu Soren did pull back some ground with that rather, energetic campaign. The Congress wiped out in Jharkhand down to 9, and the JVM 6. If the BJP falls short, some talk about a possible Ghar Wapsi out there, or are there some other people who can look into it? And if you're looking at the different regions in Jharkhand, let's maybe start off with the central region and see what actually is panning out. So in the central region, this is where the BJP has really done very well. It's 24 there, 5 for the JMM, 4 for the JVM, Congress getting just 3 out there. So the BJP doing well in this particular region. It's 24 out of the 39 in this here. In the SC region, it's 3 for the BJP, will be 3 for the Congress, 2 for the JVM, and others picking up 3 in this particular region. Moving on to the other areas, the Congress, of course, dropping about 3 seats in that particular region. In Santhal area, it's 6 for the BJP, 4 for the JMM, and this is one of the areas where the JMM would be disappointed. It did quite well last time around, dropping a large number of its seats. And finally, in the Singhbhum area, again, it's 8 for the BJP, 8 for the JMM, 1 for the Congress party. So it's really in central Jharkhand where the BJP was able to pick up a lead and run on from there. All right. let's just start off by taking a look, and I'm just going to try and figure out who all the guests are whom we have with us. I'm going to start off with first, before I introduce the guests, I think Sujat Bukhari is still with us, as is Brigadier Anil Gupta. Can I just start off first by, Praveen, by asking you, at the very outset, I think the very fact that we are taking a look at the election and we're discussing all these normal things, who's going to form the government, how is it going to pan out, what are the alliances going to be, it's a change, it's a major change. No one coming in and saying, oh, the elections were rigged or selection by Delhi or any of that sort of stuff.
You know, we were just saying this morning, Vikram, while we were discussing this is the first election in Jammu and Kashmir where we've started off without any conversation about how the Hurriyat is going to react to this, or what Pakistan's going to do, or jihadi groups are going to do. And that's a sign of how remarkable this journey over the last decade plus has been. The fact that you have people like Sajjad Lone now, you know, who were these enormous secessionist figures. We're talking about, you know, a couple of assembly seats that their party has won. Again, shows us how remarkable the change has been. It's
yeah, and I think that in many ways is the really big story around here. But for the moment, I think the big question everyone's asking is, what's the government going to be? And I think, let me turn to Tariq, who's joining us off the PDP. Of course, had a very successful run in the 2014 election. Thanks so much, Tariq ji, for joining us. I guess all eyes at this stage are on the PDP, because you, in a sense, have a choice at this stage. You could go with the BJP, get support from the centre, get assurances on Article 370 and AFSPA and things like that. Or you could go with the Congress party, which perhaps many of your core voters, especially in the Valley, would prefer. What are your own views on this?
Well, Vikram, it's too early to speak on this because there are many constituencies who have yet not been declared. But as far as one fact remains, that is, the PDP is emerging as the single largest party, and of course we will go for the discussions maybe tomorrow to establish this fact that what roadmap we have to take for the future.
I know you won't be able to tell us what the actual decision is, but if I could just ask you, it's not been a particular secret to anybody that no party was likely to get an absolute majority. I don't think even the PDP was expecting an absolute majority in these elections. So when you within the party for the last few days and weeks have been thinking about the various options out there, I assume the discussion was that the NC is an untouchable, but there would have been pros and cons of both the BJP and the Congress that you all must have discussed.
But the options yet not have emerged as yet clearly. Let the options emerge clearly, and then only we can speak about it. But as far as PDP is concerned, whatever decision we are going to take should be and shall be in the best interests of the state and in the best interests of the people of the state. May it be on the political level, or may it be on the this administrative level or the developmental level. There will be certain guiding rules for us, according to which we shall decide that what we have to do in future.
So let me just try and ask you about...
The interests of the people of Jammu and Kashmir shall be paramount interest.
All right, so let's just try and understand what, according to you, are the factors that would govern the interest of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, because that will give us some clues. I know there's no decision yet, but it will give us some clues. So from your point of view, there are certain things that I guess the BJP would be able to deliver. You know, let's go slow on Article 370. Let's try and do something about AFSPA. Let's get more central aid into Jammu and Kashmir. Are those some of the things that you think are particularly important for the people of Jammu and Kashmir? Or is it, or what are the factors? So to your mind, what constitutes the interest of the people of Jammu and Kashmir?
Vikram, you know that Jammu and Kashmir is a very politically very sensitive state, and that is the paramount factor which we shall have to see. Number one. Number two, there has always been this developmental deficit. And moreover, very important for us is to have an inclusive polity of the state. These elections very unfortunately got a fractured mandate, not on the regional level, but on the basis of the religion also. So our paramount interest would be to create a conducive atmosphere whereby we can give an inclusive polity to the state.
All right, we are of course asking what the PDP would want to do, but I guess it's even for parties like the BJP to decide whether they would at all want to form a government in alliance with the PDP there in Jammu and Kashmir. And what senior party sources are telling us is that they do not think they'll be able to form a government in alliance with the PDP. Sunil Prabhu joining us for more on that. Sunil, at the senior most levels of the BJP, is there some hesitation in forming in working with the PDP to form a government out there? Do they feel that in some ways a more natural alliance would be between the PDP and the Congress party? Sunil, can you hear me? But I think we've just lost the line, so we'll try and come back to that in just a couple of minutes. But at least that's what sources at this present moment seem to be indicating from the BJP, that they're not completely convinced that it's a good idea to form a government in alliance with the PDP. And in that case, all of these questions get sorted out really fast. Can I just throw that question actually to Brigadier Anil Gupta, who's with us from the BJP? Anilji, just wanted to ask you your sense. And I'm sure the BJP has discussed this, that at some point there may be a possibility of having to form a government in partnership with the PDP. What were the pros and cons that were being thrown up within the party?
Vikram, one thing is very clear, that in this election, the people of Jammu and Kashmir have sidelined all emotive issues and voted basically for development. So therefore, I think in the best interest of the state, if the people want development, any government in Jammu and Kashmir cannot work without the assistance of the central government. So therefore, I think the call is to be taken by the PDP. And if PDP is keen to have an alliance with us, I think our party may consider it. But this is not the party line, so this is my personal view.
Right, we're just trying to establish what exactly the party line is, because hints are now starting to come out from the BJP that they would not be all that keen. And let me see if I can now get Sunil Prabhu in. Sunil, what are senior BJP sources telling us at this point?
Well, I think 2-3 important points that they are trying to reflect, saying that if we don't get the numbers, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to have an alliance with the PDP. Having said that, they say the reason behind it is that clearly the people of the Jammu region, which have voted them unanimously this time round, will not be very happy with the kind of alliance that we have gone ahead with. So that's an important factor which they understand and realize that if they aren't in that home way run, as they call it, of above 35 seats, it will be extremely difficult for them to have an alliance with the PDP. Having said that, what we have been made to understand is that the PDP and the Congress will try to reach out to each other to find an alliance. How that works out in reality is a matter of time and detail. But at this stage, what we have been told by senior BJP leaders is that it's going to be extremely difficult for any kind of alliance with the PDP in Jammu and Kashmir as the results and as the trends show at present.
All right, Sunil, thanks for that update. We'll try and we'll leave it to you to try and get some more information and see just exactly what is emerging now. Very interestingly, of course, just a quick flash, Omar Abdullah now trading in both his constituencies. He lost one, trailing in the other one. So the National Conference obviously not having a particularly good time, although they've just overtaken the Congress out there. Aman Sinha is with us, spokesperson of the BJP. Aman, just help us understand the dilemmas that the BJP might be going through right now. I mean, look, I get this fact that we're not in the position to form the numbers, but were you ever really expecting to get the numbers in Jammu and Kashmir? I mean, Mission 44 was something good to aim for, But without getting a substantial number of seats in the valley, it was always going to be a long stretch. So were you not already discussing and contemplating the possibilities that we may have to go with the PDP or someone else?
No, Vikram, all the results have to come out, and once the final tally is out, the party's parliamentary board will take a structured view on the issue. But however, nothing can take away from the fact that BJP has put in its best ever performance in Jammu and Kashmir and Jharkhand. In fact, in Jammu and Kashmir, there's been a quantum jump, I think, in terms of vote share as well as in terms of seats. And, these are remarkable results for BJP. And not only in Jammu, Vikram, but in Valley also, we have enhanced our vote share substantially. And in Ladakh also, I believe we'll be enhancing our vote share, although, we may not be enhancing our seat tally. But finally, when the results come out, final picture come out, I'm quite confident that we'll add a few more seats. And therefore, it's a remarkable results, and it's also a answer with a conviction to all those people who have been criticizing BJP for not being a party which is acceptable throughout the country. Whether it is far-flung areas of Valley or Naxal affected areas of Jharkhand. The BJP has enhanced its position, strengthened its position in all such far-flung areas, and leadership of Prime Minister Modi is being widely accepted all across India, and that is one message
Aman,
which goes through the whole of the country.
If I could just interrupt you on that count.
Yes,
Look,
Vikram.
even in Jharkhand, you're 42 right now, which means you're just over the halfway mark. So you will be forming a government out there. But at any stage, is there some disappointment? Because, for the last few months, the BJP's got used to winning election after election with a comfortable majority. In Jharkhand, you're there, and it will be the first time that someone's got a majority, but not what some of the exit polls were saying and what perhaps the party itself was expecting. So is there any disappointment at this point or no?
No, Vikram, as I mentioned, this is our best ever performance in Jammu and Kashmir and Jharkhand in both these states, and therefore there is no cause for disappointment. You are right, we always set our goals higher, and in politics, one campaigns on the belief that we are going to achieve whatever goals that we set. So,
Okay.
but that is not a matter of disappointment, and the remarkable jump that we have made in Jammu and Kashmir and in Jharkhand needs to be welcomed, and it also goes on to reflect that the leadership of Prime Minister Modi is being accepted in most remote and far-flung areas of the country. It is not only centered in urban areas, but in all the
Okay.
areas, even in Valley, we have ended up enhancing our vote share. So therefore, it is a clear indicator that BJP is on the upswing. The momentum is very much there, and the popularity and the leadership of Prime Minister Modi is being
All right.
accepted
Aman,
throughout the country.
Aman, can I just pause you?
Yes,
okay,
Vikram.
let me just get back to the task of trying to figure out what the government in Jammu and Kashmir is going to be, and we'll continue to analyze it later. So, Praveen, both the PDP and the BJP with us right now, neither of them is saying anything very clearly, as I don't think they can without a mandate. So let me get you to analyze it. Given the way the numbers are right now, let's just add it up. 30 for the PDP, it's 12 for the Congress. Put together, couple of seats short, right? There are others. Maybe we can get the others up in a couple of minutes and just see who the others are and see whom they can get it from. So they can get there. With the BJP, I think there was a time when the PDP and BJP were flirting with each other. It was at a time when it seemed that would be the only possibility. Even this morning, it was looking like that's the only possibility to get a government. Do you think the PDP would at the end of the day prefer to go with the Congress? And would the BJP not go with the PDP unless it really had to?
I mean, there are pros and cons, obviously, from both sides. I mean, if the PDP has to show that it's been able to do something the National Conference has not been able to do, well, what could that be? And that might be some concessions in the lifting of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which only the BJP is in a position to deliver on. If it wants enhanced economic aid, I don't think any government in Delhi will be stingy, but certainly being on the same side as power in Delhi would help grease the wheels, as it were. So a lot there, and plus it would be a stable government. The numbers are there. The downsides would obviously be that fairly sort of confident, assertive BJP MLAs in Jammu will demand a very significant share of power and administration. The PDP might not be entirely thrilled about that. You would have potential backlash from some people within the PDP who are not happy about the Congress.
And the core voters, would they understand that the PDP had to do this? Or
Well,
would they...
core voters will always understand what their leaders want, but it's the people on the fringes you're more worried about. Just 3 weeks ago, Mehbooba Mufti was on this television station, in fact on NDTV, saying in no uncertain terms that there was absolutely no possibility of a deal with the BJP. It would be easier with the Congress to bring that about. Having said that, I think this confusion is there in every party in Jammu and Kashmir, because the basic structure of politics is changing, and none of the parties are very sure how to deal with it.
Right. So, Tariq ji, if I could just come back to you, from a PDP point of view, is there more of an ideological affinity that you and others in the party feel with the Congress party? And of course, Mufti Saab himself was once upon a time a Congress leader himself. So, again, in your discussions over the last few weeks, and when you're talking to your voters, do many of them tell you that they feel more of an ideological affinity with the Congress party?
See, as far as coalition mantra is concerned, it has to have a common minimum program, which we earlier also had when Mufti Saab headed the chair, and that time also we had so many factors included. That was the political factor, the administrative factor, and the developmental factor. As I told you earlier also, we shall have to have that discussion first. Okay, what are the factors which we are going to raise this time? And I'm sure that in any case we shall not be compromising on our core issues, may it be political, may it be developmental, or may it be administrative.
So, if I could just ask you, if you had to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here are some of the things that we really feel a PDP government, and it looks as if it is going to be a PDP government with somebody with the other support, these are the things that your voters will expect you to deliver on in the next 6 years. What to your mind are the top 3 or 4 points?
You see, in the first instance, as far as the polity over here is concerned, J&K state, as you know, is a politically sensitive state. There are core issues, political issues, which need to be addressed. We have always been saying that the resolution has to be, there has to be one-time resolution as far as Kashmir issue is concerned. That is the number one. Number two is stable government. Number three, there has to be a government which understands the developmental and the regional aspirations and sub-regional aspirations. And it has to be corruption-free government. You have seen that corruption was at the center stage of the previous government, and people over here, if they have been voted out, this Congress and National Conference government, one of the issues was corruption as well.
All right, Praveen, decode that. I mean, all of those 5 points, which of them are pointing to BJP and which of them are pointing to the Congress?
Gosh, I
mean, the aspirations, the political aspirations, all of that sort of stuff. I mean, when it comes to development, as you were saying, BJP.
The number one thing Mr. Kara put up there was a political resolution to the problem in Kashmir, which is obviously something that involves Pakistan, which is obviously something that involves the center. Having said that, another little factor to play in here is that the Congress now remains the only party which has actually got a significant division of seats between the Jammu region and the Kashmir region. It's got seats in both, and to some extent is a competitor of the PDP. They might be much happier with a party like the BJP, which is, for all practical purposes, a Jammu party.
Yeah,
and they're not fishing in the same pond.
Of course, as we've been hearing in the last 10-15 minutes, of course, the BJP may not be interested, in which case this entire discussion is infructuous, and the Congress's numbers are now sliding down to 11, so then the whole issue might go back into the mix. Well, we're now being joined by Devendra Rana, the key National Conference leader, somebody very closely associated with the chief, with Omar Abdullah and the campaign. Mr. Rana, thanks so much for joining us. First of all, very quick take on what you see happening, and it's obviously not gone very well for the National Conference, down to 14 seats right now, and Omar himself seems to be has lost one, trailing in the other.
the results are not final, Vikram, as yet. Until the results come, it will be very difficult. Final results come in, it will be very difficult to comment about them at the moment. But yes, there is a verdict, and we have to accept that verdict with all humility.
Okay, Mr. Rana, just hold that thought. In fact, all of you just stay on with us. We're going to take a very quick break and then be back to continue to take a close look, particularly at Jammu and Kashmir, where the numbers are continuing to fluctuate, and that throws up all sorts of different permutations and combinations as each number moves up and down.